Before anybody could get mad at me for doing a Leaf video first, because it was a crazy Raptor game, the Leaf game was fresh. So I had that in my mind, and I was like, all right, let's just go do it. Let's get it out there. And I'll talk about the Raptors now, because holy smokes, what a basketball game there in Charlotte there this evening. Obviously, the Raptors extremely shorthanded. No Van Vliet, no Powell, no Gasol, no Pascal Siakam. You could say 4 of your 5 starters on the shelf right now, not playing. So you need a lot of guys to step up. And obviously yesterday in Portland didn't go very well. And you had a back-to-back. You had to travel to Charlotte. They didn't play yesterday. So things looking a little shaky here against the Charlotte Hornets. But things were looking okay early on. You know, you're only down by 2 after the first quarter. You got to find a way to get the job done. You got to find a way to get that offense going. You got to find a way to tighten up defensively, even though you're in the second night of a back-to-back. And how yesterday's grind was, you got to find a way. And that's all there is to it. In the second quarter, Raptors come out flying. They score 31. They only allowed 24. They're plus 7 after 2 quarters, or in the second quarter. You're plus 5 at halftime, even though the Raptors were up by double digits. And that was something that was a big, big problem heading into halftime. Now, going into the third quarter, again, the Raptors kept that slow start, and they didn't get anything going to start that third quarter. It was an abysmal third quarter. At one point, the Raptors were down by 10. If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. What's their biggest lead? It was 10, wasn't it? Yeah, biggest lead was 10. So you got to find a way to come back. You were minus 4 in the quarter. Somehow, though, you're plus 1 after 3 quarters of play, and the Raptors are just trying to find a way to grind this one out. Things aren't going well. You're not playing well. You're down by 10 in the fourth quarter again, and you got to find a way to get something going. And the Raptors find some offense there later in that fourth quarter. You're minus 1, but what a crazy ending to this game. I mean, let's go to it right now. Lowry makes the big shot to put the Raptors up by 1 with I'm not sure exactly how much time left. I don't know how much time left. 17 seconds maybe on the clock. And we're like, all right, we got the lead now. That's great. They get a timeout. They move up the ball, and we're like, okay, all right, let's get a stop. No threes. You got to find a way to get a stop and win this basketball game. Then, on the inbound play, Serge Ibaka with a little dinky tug of the jersey. Oh, that's a foul before the ball gets inbounded, so they get a free throw and the ball. Are you kidding me? They make the free throw. It's a tied game. Now you need a miracle. And a big shot late from, where is he here? Devontae Graham, and it hits the front of the rim, and it goes straight up, and from my angle, I'm like, that's not going to drop, is it? And it falls out. Oh, my God. And we're tied at 100 apiece, and we are going to overtime. A crazy, stressful game for Raptor fans watching and listening, if you were watching, listen on the radio. But we're going to overtime. And overtime doesn't disappoint either. Because lots of crazy things happening, and Terrence Davis knocking down some threes, and we're like, holy smokes, this kid is finding himself. He's looking real good, you know. And I'm trying to go play-by-play here there in overtime, because holy smokes, what a game it was. Obviously the Raptors get a rebound with 11 seconds left, and the big question here was, what was going to happen? And it was a crazy game. It was crazy because obviously Raptors only had that game with the 1-point lead, if I'm not mistaken, or was it the 2-point lead in overtime there? I think it was a tied ball game, and they miss a shot, and it gives the Raptors a chance to get out and run, and it's sloppy, and Serge Ibaka is kind of bobbling the ball, and somehow he corrals it with not much time left in the clock. When did he get fouled there? It was fouled with 5 seconds left, right? And Serge, at that point, was 0 of 3 from the free throw line. And I'm thinking to myself, Serge, we need both. Because then, at least, then you just don't allow them to take a 3. And if they get a 2, we're going to overtime again. But at least you're still in the ballgame at that point. He knocks down both. They call the timeout, moves the ball up. Good news is the Raptors had a foul to give. It was 5.1, I think it was, on the clock at that point. And they inbound the ball, and Lowry all over Rozier, and he fouls him. I think it was about 3.3 left on the clock. So what that basically means is that they're going to be able to inbound the ball, maybe a couple dribbles, and they're going to have to fire up a shot. So what happens off the inbound? They give the ball to Rozier. He dribbles it 1 or 2 times, and then chucks up a Hail Mary 3. And I mean, it was arcing. It wasn't pretty. But we have seen against the Raptors in the past, last year against Charlotte, where they hit a buzzer beater, and it hits the rim, And that's it. Raptors win 112-110 in overtime over the Charlotte flipping Hornets. Oh my God. Can we have Siakam, Gasol, Powell, and Van Vliet back, please? Oh, I can't handle these games, especially against Charlotte. Like, my goodness. What a game. And I love after the game because Terry Rozier, I'm watching this game and I'm sitting there with my mama and everything. I'm telling you, Rozier's just some hothead, right? He's some guy that just loves to yap, right? He loves to run his mouth, make a big shot. And he's like, yeah, that's me. What up with it? Right? That kind of stuff. And he misses the shot. I don't know what Terrence Davis said to him. He said something very small, and then Rozier snaps and goes right at Terrence Davis, gets his finger right in his face, and it's like that, and I'm just laughing. I'm like, you're an idiot. Scary Terry? No. Not very scary this one, bud. I love it. I love seeing the boys, and then Boucher's laughing and all that stuff. You know why? Because the Raptors, basically G League team, they're benching the starting unit, other than Lowry and Ibaka, of course. But Ibaka, with Gasol healthy, would be coming off the bench, so you could arguably say that, and Lowry's the only starter. They come away with the victory in Charlotte. It was not a pretty basketball game by any means. But you won. The Raptors are now 6-5 without the trio of Marc Gasol, Powell, and Siakam, which I gotta say, isn't the worst. Have they looked awful lately without those guys? No question. But if they had done a crazy good job of finding a way to weather storms, I mean, you almost beat Lillard, McCollum, and Carmelo Anthony last night. Yeah, we know the garbage calls, and they both come out today, the referees, and you love when officials come out the next day and say, oh, we missed those calls. Yeah, we know. We all know it. And today, with that yank of Ibaka off the jersey, I was about ready to lose my mind. I'm like, are we going to lose on something like that for the second day in a row? Now, ideally, he did tug it a bit, so there was something there. Not like it was blatantly nothing, but it was something very minor. And I'm like, he was still able to inbound the ball. It didn't change anything. So I was so scared that was going to do something, but it didn't. And the Raptors once again prevail on the referees. And they win at 112-110. 25-13 on the season, guys. Look, with all the injuries this team has overcome this year, they're only 2 games back of what they were last season. I mean, take that in. With all the man games you lost from Lowry, you lost from Serge, you lost all these big guys, and now you've lost Van Vliet, and he has been kind of in and out, excuse me, as Freddie. And obviously with Powell, Siakam, and Gasol out the last 11 games, and you found a way to be 25-13. Like, this team is finding ways to get the job done. Now, with the schedule being a little bit favorable lately, it's great news. And also great news, Raptor fans, before I get to all the stats about this game, the next game for the Raptors is not until Sunday at 6 o'clock. So, today's Wednesday. They have Thursday, Friday, and Saturday all off to either get a practice in or whatnot. And that is great news for guys like Van Vliet, Gasol, Siakam, and Powell. Will any of those guys be back for that Sunday evening game against DeMar DeRozan and the Spurs? I don't know. But what I do know for sure is that that's going to give them some time where the Raptors don't play. It gives this team a little bit of a break because they play back-to-back days, intense basketball games, and they get a little bit of a rest after that, which is great. And then after that, they have a couple more days off before they're in OKC. So the Raptors have a little bit of time now, and we'll be able to see over the next few days kind of how this team will look heading into that game against San Antonio at home. It's going to be really interesting to see maybe who's back. Will Powell be back by then? It looks pretty good right now, barring any setbacks. We don't know the deal about Siakam and Gasol. We're not sure. Van Vliet, assuming he's still going to be out for a little bit. But no matter what, you got the W tonight. And I'm proud of these guys. You shot 45% from the field. They shot 44% from the field. They shot 40% from 3. Raptors shot 39% from 3. They made one more 3 than the Raptors. But again, you hung in there. Free throw shooting, one very pretty for Toronto. They had 2 missed free throws from Lowry late in the game. Ibaka missed all 3 in regulation. Really struggled there. 14 for 20, on the game. 70% from the free throw line. They were 73% from the line. So not a big difference there. Rebounding, Raptors were -4, 50-46. Offensive boards, 14-13 in favor of Toronto, and in crazy rebounding game. 34 assists for the Toronto Raptors in this one, and in crazy ball movement game. I gotta say, as much as they weren't making shots, I thought at some points, and they weren't really looking too good early on in this game, I gotta say, the ball movement was there. The ball was humming, they were making that extra pass to get that really good look, for the most part. And I 34 dimes in this one. Really good job. 7 steals to their 6. 5 blocks to their 6. Only 10 turnovers for the Raptors. However, those 10 turnovers led to 26 points. So every time we turned the ball over, it was live ball turnovers leading to buckets for them. So that was a problem. They have 17 turnovers, only leading to 23 points. So you can see the big difference in that category. Points to the paint, even. 46 apiece. Fast break points, dead even. 16 apiece. And the second chance category, 17 for the Raptors, 21 for them, even though we won the offensive glass category. So very weird numbers there in that sense. But, guys got the job done today. And you needed a complete effort. You needed everyone to contribute because you had guys yesterday who didn't really play very well. You didn't have Terrence Davis play very well. I'm going to get to him really good in a second here. Obviously, Lowry didn't shoot the ball very well yesterday. And things were not looking very pretty. But you got a lot today. McCaw played 43 flipping minutes. I can't wait for guys to get healthy and his minutes drop. 13 points, 11 assists, and 5 rebounds, though, for Patrick McCaw. 6 of 10 shooting for the game, 1 of 3 from 3, had a steal in the ball game, plus 5 on the floor. Not a bad stat line for Pat McCaw. Ideally, when you play 43 minutes, you better have at least double-digit points, and he did. OG Anunoby, again, he had 19 points and 7 boards and an assist shot, 8 of 13, 3 of 4 from 3, had a steal in the ball game, plus 13 on the floor. Those look great. It's just out there, he just looks erratic. And I could be the only one thinking that right now, but again, that's just what it looks like to me when he's on the floor. Ibaka, 7 straight double-doubles. I think he's tied his career high in that category. 23, 11, and 2 for Serge. 10 of 19 from the field. 2 of 5 from the line. Those 2 beautiful ones in overtime. 1 of 1 from 3. 2 blocks for Serge. Plus 15 while he was on the floor. Big night from Afuzi Chef. And the man of the game, Terrence Davis. Now, I love what happened today. Because we hear last night, Terrence Davis played 8 minutes, and the question was asked to Nick Nurse, well, what do you think of Terrence Davis out there? Only played 8 minutes. He's like, was 5 too many? What does that do? That lights a fire under people. It probably wasn't, aimed at him to tell him, you play like garbage. But even if it did, you heard Terrence Davis after the game today, it was kind of, used as like, yeah, all right, I'll go out there and do a job. And what does Nick Nurse do the very next day for this young kid? Hey, kid, you're in the starting lineup. Go at it. And what does Terrence Davis do? He's like, okay, coach, 23, 11, and 5 on 8 of 16 shooting, 3 of 3 from the line, 4 of 8 from 3, has a steal in the game, plus 20 while Terrence Davis was on the floor. Big night, career night for TD2 as he is continuously showing us what he's about. Undrafted free agent, looking real good for this team in the future. Lowry with 15 points and 9 assists on 4 of 13 shooting, 2 boards in the game as well. 5 of 8 from the free throw line. 2 big misses late though. That's a big problem. 2 of 6 from 3, 2 steals and a block for Lowry, plus 14 while he was on the floor. And the bench got absolutely obliterated tonight. The story yesterday, the bench was great, the starters weren't. Today, vice versa. Obviously, Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, 8, 4, and 3, 8 points, 4 boards, 3 assists in 22 minutes, 2 of 4 shooting, 4 of 4 from the line, missed the 1-3 he took really badly. He shouldn't be taking threes anymore. Had a steal in the ball game, minus 16 while he was on the floor. Matt Thomas, 8 points on 3 of 9 shooting, 2 of 6 from 3, minus 15 while he was on the floor. And Boucher, he's got to learn to keep that temper down because after that play with Tyler, I think it's Cody Zeller, isn't it? Or is it Tyler Zeller? Where is he here? Cody Zeller. He went crazy, did Boucher. Not only did he go crazy because he thought it should have been a foul and he was all up in his face and whatnot. Every play after that, he was all angry and he was making the wrong play. And that was a big problem. That was a big reason of why they made that big push there late in the third quarter to get back in that game. And the Raptors only led by 1 after 3 quarters because Boucher really, really hurt the team in that category. 3 points, 3 boards, 1 assist on 1 of 5 shooting, 1 of 4 from 3, 2 blocks in the game. Minus 13 though was Chris Boucher. Really rough game for him. And Brissett, not a very good ball game for O'Shea Brissett. 0 of 5 shooting, 0 of 3 from 3, minus 9 on the floor in 10 minutes. Not very pretty for him. But the Raptors come away with the victory. And my player of the game, no doubt about it, Terrence Davis. You could arguably say Serge Ibaka because he was incredible. But my guy, Terrence Davis Jr., especially what happened yesterday. I mean, it was an incredible game today. It ended insane. And Terrence Davis, after what happened last night at home, the way it played, the comments from Nick Nurse, and he goes out there the very next night and does that. Shows you the composure of this young kid, 22-year-old kid, looking pretty damn good for an unrestricted free agent, all right? So, guys, the next game, as we talked about, is, where are we here? On Sunday evening, 6 p.m. tip-off against DeMar DeRozan and the San Antonio Spurs at Scotiabank Arena. So, Debo returns for the second time as a San Antonio Spur. The first time we all remember that one, the strip of DeMar DeRozan from Lowry and Kawhi leading to the dunk and the victory. Who knows what's going to happen there on Sunday? We don't know who's going to be even playing for the Toronto Raptors there on Sunday evening at Scotiabank Arena. All right, so you know what, guys? That's going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and you guys enjoyed the game there this evening, smack that like button. Do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the game, your thoughts on the video. Everything you thought about this Raptors squad. What'd you like? What'd you not like from this game? Who is your player of the game in this one? Let me know in the comments below, guys. Also, Twitter is down below for myself. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. Also, the Patreon link is down below. If you guys want to follow up, sign up, do all that great stuff down below for the Patreon account. The link is down below. And I will talk to you guys Leafs edition. They don't play till Sunday either, so I won't be talking to you guys for quite a while now. We've talked a lot lately, a lot of two game days, so it's going to be interesting having no videos the next few days for you guys. But we'll talk to you guys Leafs edition on Sunday as they play the Florida Panthers in Florida. 7 o'clock puck drop there. It's probably going to be Anderson and Bobrovsky in net for the Leafs and the Florida Panthers there in Sunrise, Florida. All right, and as for the Raptors, their next contest, as we talked about, is on Sunday as well, as they welcome in the San Antonio Spurs to Scotiabank Arena. 6 p.m. tip-off there. DeRozan returns for the second time in his career to Toronto as an opponent. All right, so thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys know the video. Talk to you guys then.